Yo, what up? What up? What up? It's your boy Ricky D checking in. Yeah, we a little late, but we here. You know what I'm saying? The show must go on. Shout out to them Guardians for making them power moves today. But like I say, the show must go on. It's your boy Ricky D, Sports Corner from the 216 live on YouTube, TikTok, and Kick. I hope you're following. But if not, catch me later. Make sure you like and subscribe on YouTube, Kick, and follow us on TikTok and other streaming platforms or social media outlets where you can tune in, checking in. We live. Let me share this real quick. Excuse me. I just was on my one thingamajig. But anyhow, welcome to back, brother, to another Sports Corner from the 216. Tonight we talking about urgency in Cleveland. If you didn't feel it, you felt it. Shout out to Guardians, aka Indians. You know what I'm saying? The Guardians made some power moves at the deadline. You already know the Browns put on them pass today, so the, it's getting real in Berea. You already know. And the Cavaliers, they still trying to figure it out. Shout out your boy Donovan Mitchell. And congratulations to him and Coco Jones for their wedding. But of course, we still top of the pack. We still NBA elite because guess where we was at last year? A series before the finals. But beyond the scoreboard, tonight we asking a bigger question. Are we becoming a society that wants championship success and results without respecting the process it takes to build them? But in my eyes, behind these glasses, these frames, I think they're taking them steps. The Guardians usually, they usually depend on their farm. You know what I'm saying? They put the chips in though. They made some major moves. They got an all-star pick, dude that hit it out the park. Last year he had 37 home runs. Um, Adele is his name. They got Foster from the Washington Nationals. You already know that the Guardians made some moves. They play off pushing it. You know what I'm saying? They showed some real urgency. Offensive help, making moves designed, to strengthen it for the postseason. They 3 games behind right now in the Central. So let's get it going. They giving Jose some help. They got some new bats. Their first trades was Bo Naylor. They got Bo Naylor, sent him to Milwaukee. Another pitcher. They got an outfielder and another pitcher. Um, I think we got another pitcher in the trade with the Nationals. I'm gonna have to pull that up to be accurate. They making that postseason push. You know what I'm saying? They addressed some of the biggest needs that I was saying anyway. I felt like they needed to get it back. And the pitching was all right. It been slacking lately. The rotation is short. You know, it was some big moves. You can have a rotation like what the Dodgers got right now. You probably guaranteed to win. But they put some bats around Jose. I can't wait till Vogt figure out this lineup going into because we gonna get an opportunity unless we have a tragic knock on wood, plywood, whatever this is called. But anyhow, The Guardians, they made believers out of people that already believe. Put it like that. It's your boy Ricky D, sports corner for the 216. Yeah, we're a little late today, but better late than never. You know what I'm saying? The front office, they showed, shout out Chris Antonetti for putting the moves. You transformed the team. You didn't depend on your
Broadcasting from the 92.3 The Fan Studios.
You know what I'm saying? 90, how they was about to interrupt my show like that for real? Man, that's how you know they watching. They watching. They watching. But don't forget to go down and I keep. I ain't gonna say I forget. I be doing the thing. But let me get to it. You know, this broadcast has some sponsor, Polymart. Only make a bet on who, what, when, and where might happen. Do you think the Guardians gonna win enough games to make it to the postseason this year? Because I feel like they became a legitimate October threat. Because they was already playing. All they really doing right now is get back accustomed to having Jose. That's the only reason they kind of got out of sync. That's my opinion. But what's your thoughts? Make sure you leave a comment, like, subscribe, share. Hey, let's get this crack. Because this sports corner from the 216, where we talk sports from the 216 with your boy Ricky D. You know, I'm gonna start bringing in some guests for y'all, or you can call in 216-245-9901. That's the new number. It will be screened though, or you could just join the chat. But if you had to give the Guardians a grade, if you know, let me go look at this track. But yeah, Scuba went to the Dodgers to money making. They can't. They doing all they can. They better before the they start because you know they about to get them. Um, I mean, baseball about to get a salary cap. They never really had a salary cap. They about to do one now. Okay, so we get okay. So Chris, let me see if we can get this on. Tell me, tell me, I've been talking all the time. Okay, we're gonna pause for a minute. We're gonna pause for a minute. That was a little mishap right there, y'all. But let's rewind this. Chris Antonetti talk. See what Chris had to say.
It's on the heels of taking an opportunity to make some moves even prior to this year to strengthen or prior to this week to strengthen our team. First move we were able to complete was acquiring Joe Adell, an athletic right-handed hitting outfielder with tremendous power. His calling card's been he's been exceptionally productive against left-handed pitching and has had pretty consistent production against right-handers as well. And we think there's an opportunity for him to be even a little bit more consistent against righties and continue the success he's had against left-handed pitching. A very good complement to our lineup. We'll be able to play probably some combination of right field and DH at bats. The next move, just go in order of at least the way I can remember executing them, was acquiring Foster Griffin for uh, a package of prospects. In Foster, we feel we're acquiring a starting pitcher that's been one of the best starters in baseball this year. He was an all-star, has been really consistent and really productive from the beginning of the season, and feel like he will really fortify our rotation. He's got a very deep pitch mix with 7 pitches that he mixes very well, keeps hitters off balance. So we think he can really help out our rotation. And lastly, we added Nate Lowe, who will get the bulk of the at-bats against right-handed pitching at first base. Nate's been a consistent professional bat throughout his career against righties. He's been very productive again this year, and we think, again, he helps lengthen and deepen our lineup. And when you pair these 3 moves from today with being able to add Craig Yoho and Blake Perkins earlier this week, and then even going back to the Patty Bailey deal earlier this year, we feel like we have really fortified our team and are in a position to play competitive baseball for the balance of the season and give ourselves a chance to win another American League Central.
The business of sports, where every move is strategic and fiercely competitive. Join.
That's your boy Chris Antonetti explaining his moves with the Guardians. I think he made some good moves, man. I ain't a big baseball fanatic, but just based off of stats, you know, Chris Antonetti is a good guy because he patient. He has a patient demeanor to me. But then with some powerful moves, like we got us a bat, we got us a utility guy. We got a couple bats. We got a couple rotational players. So, and that, because our farm, from what I've been getting the understanding of, is that our farm was so deep. They were able to, they was expandable because we had, like, you know, double the position growth in the minors. So we still stacked in the minors. I ain't gonna go directly to the names, but based off of information, our minor league is still some we could grow from. So, hey, well, we got about 60 games left in the regular season for baseball. Let's see where these trades get us. So, if I had to give them a grade, I would grade them. I'd give them an A because we already have a solid team, and they added some solid pieces for minimum cash value, and we gave up pieces that was not needed or probably wouldn't have made it to the majors in a year, at least a couple years. So, and most of the players are under contract for a few years. So it ain't too late. It's very much enough. I wouldn't call it championship level, but if they could get the continuity together before, get a winning streak going so they could get back in the playoff hunt and get some continuity going into the playoffs, it could be very like a lot of people better start paying attention because it could get real serious. Go Guardians. That's why I got my Guardians gear on today, because they was making some power moves. So I had to swing through and support the Guardians. You know what I'm saying? You know, life, man. That's all I'm saying. Sometimes you got to find some things that take you away from the hardships of life, because this way life is structured, man, it can really become like overwhelming sometimes. And with that, I'm a bump the think and reflect segment up. You know what I'm saying? Because real life meets sports. You know what I'm saying? That instant gratification. Everybody wants the trophy. Everybody want to be winning. You know what I'm saying? Everybody want to feel like they got it made, but it ain't that simple. It's a constant grind. That's why when I started my marketing business company, however you want to say it, one of my first taglines was brand, build, grind, and shine. After communication is key with the S sign. See, a lot of people don't understand the @ because the @ is more how the communication style was. Email was becoming it had already been common, but it was really common. So communication is key. We communicating through @. Now you see everything is an @. Yo, tag name on your social media is @. So hey, I was ahead of the curve, bruh. Hey, I had a little incident. They snagged. I had to disappear for a little while, but I'm the type of person, especially if I'm forced to disappear, I'm gonna take advantage of that time because what else is it to do but learn? Because I enjoy learning during just when have my free will. But like I was saying, everybody wants the trophy, but nobody wants that process. You know, nobody, nobody, nobody wants to put that work in to actually complete tasks. You get what I'm saying? Like, don't nobody want to do what it is they need to do to make things come true. Like some people just want it because that's what did really happen with society. And I tell people, I say, man, guess what the new drug is? People they be looking at me like, what is you talking about? I be like, man, instant gratification. Like people struggle with instant gratification. That's the new drug. Don't nobody want to believe it, but it is. Instant gratification is the new drug. And everybody going to what's the marijuana, the cannabis, whatever you want to call it. It kind of got people. It kind of got people lost in the sauce a little bit too, but it's the instant gratification, man, of life. That's where a lot of people go wrong at. Because they want it right now. They don't want to put in no type of work. Everybody just think you can get it so easily. You know what I'm saying? But I think the Guardians did a great job. But like I say, we're in this Think and Reflect segment, man. Real life meets sports. Because regardless, man, in sports, if you don't like to be like a sports guy or a person that's really into sports, you understand that's what practice is for. That's why the media made a big mockery, if you want to call it a mockery, when Allen Iverson made that statement about practice. What practice? Because some people need practice to create that continuity, to get a rhythm, to know how to move in one unison. Because especially in sports, even like a thing like baseball, you still have to have, like, say when a team get a double play. You get what I'm saying? That come from continuity of knowing how to work together, building up that practice time. Like, okay, boom, boom, then you know how to move. It's almost like that's why when players get traded, they have to get kind of accustomed. It might take 2-3 games or whatever for a person with depending on the sport for them to get in a groove with the rest of their team. You get what I'm saying? Cause we live in a world where, man, people want instant success. Everybody think it's an overnight thing. Cause I remember I read this one book. It was called "Get Rich But Not Quick" or something like that. But you know how people think that's why people scam. That's why I did the easy. Like I always tell y'all, my theory is easy, simple, and adventurous. Easy, somewhere, somehow, is gonna have some consequences. Simple, is the best way to go if you don't have the mind to have ups and downs. But adventurous, that's my thing right here. I'm gonna keep pushing and pushing and pushing and adding to my what's the name. Sometimes it might be down, it might be up. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna keep going. Like I say, simple is the best because that's more stable. It's more steady. Adventurous, you might make a big investment and take a chance. It's almost like betting with Polymark, but you can just make a small bet. So make sure you go over to Polymark and make a bet. Tell them Ricky D from Sports Corner from the 216 sent you. But yeah, man, people want instant recognition, instant results, man. But the reality is, success takes time, man. Growth requires failure. So if you're afraid to lose, if you're afraid to fail, I've never been afraid of rejection. Like, hey, if I see something and I want to try to go get it, I'm gonna go at it. You know what I'm saying? And see if I can get it. Like, I'm not afraid of rejection because rejection is you will never know what you're capable of. You get what I'm saying? But building something meaningful, it requires patience. So over the years of being that type of person, of not being afraid of rejection, I have learned to become patient and build things, you know what I'm saying, over time because of the patience of wanting it to be the best it can be. It might not, it might perfection is something that we strive for, but we might never achieve because perfect, to me, nothing is perfect, but it gives you something to achieve, something to go after. So that's why instead of saying perfect, I'd rather say, I'm going to do my best. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to make the day better than yesterday. So hopefully if I live tomorrow, it's greater. It might not always end up in the results, but as long as you put in the work. And that's what the Indians did. That's what the Browns are doing right now. You get what I'm saying? Fans want a championship, but building a winner requires development, player development, making smart decisions because sometimes we can make irrational decisions. The timing of things, the timing and the split. I just had a situation, and I mentioned this to people. It's crazy that this is part of my notes, and it wasn't even based off of that situation. But I was telling people they was putting something together, and I said, based off the timing, I don't think the infrastructure of what is being done is going to work. I'm not saying it's not a good idea, but based off the timing, and the way some things. So I say I made a suggestion. You know what I'm saying, that was based off of my patience that I learned over the years that I felt like would have worked better in the situation. But like I say, timing though. But moving on, like I was saying, player development, the tribe, they got the farm, but they say, hey, they lost a little patience, but it seemed like they're making smart decisions. They're not looking for instant gratification because if it was instant gratification, they would have gave up on what they had earlier in the season. They would have been started making trades. But the great thing about the trades they have made, they only gave up one player that's actually like in the majors. So that's you can't tell me that wasn't a smart decision. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but moving on to these Browns, the fans, man, we want to win, right? I know I do. I love my Browns, man. I want to see a Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting up there. As y'all can see, I got the Grays kicking. They ain't even kicking in no more. They in. They taking over. Hey, they taking over. But you know what I'm saying? We need some stability, which is why I got this the youth movement they building. You got young guys that's under rookie contracts you know what I'm saying? The Browns, like, they ain't really got, they paid their top players. Denzel got paid. Grant Delpit got paid. A few more probably gonna get some money sooner or later, but we got new leadership. Shout out Jared Verse. You know what I'm saying? They in practice. I'm checking out some of the video clips from training camp. They going at each other, like, and they know it's all love though. Hopefully, but they going at him. But I get my opportunity to go see them live this week. You can too. All you got to do is leave the right comment, and I decided to give up. Let me see, the 5th, because they just put them pads on, so I know they're gonna have them pads on again tomorrow. But they saying they practicing 6 days this week, pads, so it really don't matter. I got the 4th, 5th, 6th available, 2 tickets. If you're in the Cleveland area and you're trying to go see the Browns training camp, I got 2 tickets available, but you got to download the Ticketmaster app so I can send them to you. But I'm only sending them to the person who makes the best comment in the next. So I'm only going to do the 5th and the 6th because I need to give y'all a whole day of commenting so y'all could tell me, or I could see who makes the best comment. It don't matter as long as it's based on Sports Corner, and you gotta like, subscribe, and share Sports Corner from the 216. If you got a Facebook, share. If you got an Instagram, share it in your story. But you gotta share it to be able to. You gotta comment, like I say, like Sports Corner from the 216. Share, comment, like, and share. Don't forget to subscribe so you can get them notifications for when we go live. Because today we started a little late, but guess what? I'm talking to you right now. But stability, leadership, consistency. I always tell y'all consistency. Consistency builds everything. You know what I'm saying? It even teaches you to be a leader. You know what I'm saying? Stability, that's something we have to work on with the patience and not getting away from that instant gratification. You know, growth, chemistry, tough decisions, you know what I'm saying? You know, I got a question for y'all. Have fans, as a fan, have you become too impatient with the rebuilding of, like, our teams or whatever? You know, do we celebrate the final result more than the actual journey? Because that's that one right there. That's me. I always tell people, man, life. What makes life so exciting is the adventure of, like, in the process of trying to create something. Because we're creations, so as creations, we should be creating, and that's what I've been doing for. I always be proud of this one moment when I was in junior high. I had a picture that I drew, and it was I had it in. I ain't gonna put that out there. That's for y'all to find out. It's in the archives of the Cleveland Art Museum. But I had a picture in there one time, and I still talk about that to this day. That's as a kid, that's a big achievement to me. And it's something that's always going to be part of your life. To know you had something in a place like the Art Museum. Like, we got one of the best, most famous art museums in the world. So to have something with my name on it in there, hey. But real life examples, man. You know, building a business. You know, that we live in a corporate country, so I hope most people think like that. Some people, like that's the simple, but to do the business, that's the adventurous part. Easy, simple, easy, and adventurous. Parenting, you got to have patience with your children because sometimes they can make you get very frustrated. Because I know I got children of my own. Relationships. And no, that's why you can't look for perfection because it's gonna be things you not gonna be perfect as you probably or good as the person you think you are, or it's things you gonna go through, but the patience and the process of wanting something, it lasts because and then you got your partner when it comes to relationships, y'all gotta have something in common to keep y'all going when the times get hard or y'all ain't agreeing and whatever. You know what I'm saying? And of course, personal goals because you can't accomplish none of that without, um, important goals or whatever. Because the scoreboard only shows the final result. It doesn't show the work that happened before anyone was watching. You get what I'm saying? So when people see, sometimes they be like, but they don't realize what you went through to get to the point you are at. Like they don't even, you got to respect the person that's trying to do more than average. Like the hat I had on earlier today. Y'all didn't see me with the hat, but it say you can't do epic shit with basic people. So if you around base, that's the simple. Ain't nothing wrong with it, but it's basic. If you want to be epic, do something epic, like some shit where when you gone, they still like, yeah, you remember or look, it might even still be alive because the way you structured it, the way it got built, it's companies that we purchasing things from, then the creator of it been gone, long gone, long gone.
I love it. You guys are so great.
Yeah, we doing our best to be. But at the same time, shots fired. Yeah, but really moving on to the Browns, man. You know what I'm saying? The quarterback situation. How do y'all feel about the quarterback situation? What we got going on here? Bing. Who will lead the Browns? Hey, Watson. It's when it be going on. I'm like I always say, I'm just logical. You know what I'm saying? Watson, he just didn't his body beat now, man. And then we got the young boy Shador. He just keep getting better and better. So it's like, why stunt Shador growth to please somebody that's time probably I ain't gonna say time up because he can still re, 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 rejuvenate his career is the word maybe I'm looking for. I would let y'all call in, but for some reason, let me see something. For some reason, I'm having technical difficulties with that. But who gives the Browns the best chance to win, man? Do you think it's Shador or do you think it's Watts? Development over immediate success. Here we go with the patience versus pressure. Can the defense carry the team? I think the offense is good enough to be honest. Because you got them two young receivers, and I've been telling people, who the talk of the camp is when it comes to receivers. Yeah, KC doing his thing, but guess who the talk of? Denzel Boston. The guy I've been telling everybody, man, Denzel Boston. I've been screaming Denzel Boston since probably like January season was still going on, I say, go get that boy Denzel Boston. And it was, I don't know how he was still sitting there when we came back around in the second round and Andrew Berry ain't waste his time to go get that boy. Like, what? He's still sitting there? Then we come back, I think we got McNeil Warren right after that. Come on, man, we was just smacking. We was smacked. I don't know if they setting it up for us to be great, the NFL, because they tired of a historical franchise like the Cleveland Browns not being one of the top teams in the league. Then we about to get the new stadium, but the one thing, the problem they got going on with the stadium is they not putting natural grass in there. They putting AstroTurf, and then the process, the what's the word? The blueprint, but no, I'm thinking architect. It's the person who designs the blueprint, but the blueprint that they got for the stadium, they have to redo it to incorporate this new, like, a system where they can switch the grass and whatever. But they going to this artificial turf. But they say that the new artificial turf isn't as bad as the old artificial turf. Like the stuff back in the day, they say that was like playing on the ground or something, like you playing on the cement. Trying to test something out. I don't even want to ask. There we go. Oh, it costs. Oh, okay. Yeah, we live on TikTok. But yeah, that turf, man, they saying, it's player safety. They gonna have to find a way around that, though. They really are. But player safety, that should come first, because them the people. Like, I just made a comment recently on the Sports Illustrated page. I was really just being funny. And I was talking about, because the owner called the players, he called them assets. And my thing is, you don't call a human an asset. You just say how they add value, or such. But you don't call them no asset. They might be assets to the team, but you don't call them no asset, man. That's dirty. But yeah, players, man, the player safety should come before the actual stadium, because that's who playing in the stadium, the players. You know what I'm saying? You don't want people to get hurt. None of that. You want them to be healthy and well-being. But the Browns looking good. Basically, they put them pads on, so now we can see the trenches. Now we can see, like, who really, like, when it comes to the line, the offensive, defensive line, like, who really holding it down. But yeah, man, them Browns, boy, training camp, the real training camp going on now. They got them pads on, and they say monkey old school with the coaching. Ooh, Let's go, monkey. But the Cavs ain't really been doing that. Like I say, they made the signing the European League player. But over the weekend, the boy Donovan Mitchell did get married. Most of the Cavs was there. The core four was. I seen a picture with a couple of other players, Mobley, Allen, Harden was in there. So that's a sign Harden coming back. But a lot of reporters and analysts are saying that Harden is waiting for the Browns to make a move. I mean, the Cavs. But I think we still contender, even though the East got stronger. Because them boys, the 76ers just picked up Drew Holiday. He got a buyout from the Portland Trailblazers and signed a veteran minimum with Philly. So they backup point could start on most teams. We got to make some moves, man. Something got to be done. I don't know what's the holdup is, but I guess DeRozan must don't want to come because he'll be signed by now, or maybe they don't want DeRozan, you know. But we got the most pressure right now. And around, ain't much to say about the Cavs because they ain't been doing nothing but, man, they need to do something, man, so we can talk about them too. Maybe they just letting the news, because the Browns just started camp, so they letting that go now. But of course, the NFL training camp has started everywhere. Quarterback battles, preseason expectations. Who you got? I'm going Cleveland Browns. If they go 0-16, I'm predicting the Cleveland Browns to win it all. I don't even be paying attention to the other teams like that, but I try to just so I know if they getting better or worse. That's the NFL for you. And other than LA getting Scooble, I think the Guardians made they might have won the trade deadline. We improved for sure. We didn't wait too long because we stand in the race, but the race seemed like we was getting away from us because we like 3 games out of first place. You already know. But if you see this, which team from Cleveland do you feel like will end? It's a 10-year. At least it ain't 50, 40 years no more for the city. It's only been 10 years since the last time we won a championship. But who you think, which Cleveland team you think can break the drought first? The Guardians, the Browns, the Cavaliers. We talking about the 3 major teams. The NBA, speaking of major teams, the WNBA, the Cleveland team, they're making their announcement tomorrow. I don't know the exact time, but they're making an announcement tomorrow for the actual naming of the team. Let's go. WNBA Cleveland team. But if you get a chance, man, give me a grade on the Guardians. You know what I'm saying? Are the fans too impatient? Should the Browns prioritize development over winning out? To me, I think the development is the players are good enough to win now, even while developing. Yeah, we got something special this go round. I always feel like that, but other than, pray no injury, no harmful injuries, but once this team gel, boy, we got these young boys, man. They got something to prove. They got something to prove. But when it come to, thinking and reflecting, what lesson from sports applies to your life? What to your life? You. Oh, and before I go, I got a surprise. I said I wasn't going, but I came up on, look, while the baseball is the biggest topic, look at the year on 1989. Should I open these? And there's some gum in there too. Should I open these? You know what? Just for y'all, we about to see what's in here. 89. I ain't gonna eat the gum. I ain't gonna eat the gum. Look at the gum, y'all. It still look fresh though. I wouldn't eat it. It's harder than a rock. It's solid as a rock. Uh-oh. See, I be looking for the rookie cards. I don't see no. I got a Kirby Puckett. What year is this Kirby Puckett? Kirby Puckett. We got a Bob Boone All-Star card. Jose De Leon. Well, I probably got more money keeping this pack closed. He a little older, but look, I think I had this card before. This exact card. Ozzie Smith. You know, Ozzie used to do the back flips and stuff. Craig Harris, Bob Boone, Jerry Brown, Al Leiter, Kirby Puckett, Mike Diaz. Jose De Leon, Rick Rothschild, Keith Hernandez, Pete Smith, Tim Burke, Ozzie. I should have kept them cards closed. I should have kept that pack closed. But man, before I go, we got a shot. I've been shouting them out all show, but man, Sports Corner from the 216 is powered by our partners, including Poly Market. Don't forget to shop Avera's clothing collection. Visit the website is on the way back, but visit the Instagram page. And if you see something you like, just send a DM. We'll get back to you. But don't forget, man, follow the biggest sports conversations. Check the predictions and join the debate happening around the world with Poly Market. And before I go, man, sports are more than wins and losses. They reflect who we are, how we handle pressure, failure, patience, and success. This is Sports Corner from the 216, where Cleveland sports and real life conversations come together. This your boy Ricky D, signing out a little earlier than usual. But before I actually get up out of here, are we building something great in the city of Cleveland? Or are we just chasing the next quick fix? This your boy again, Ricky D, signing out. Sports Corner from the 216.